In the ancient Japanese city of Kyoto, famous for its magnificent temples and narrow alleys, lived a young student named Akiko. Her fascination with Japanese history and culture led her to study the darkest and most mysterious legends of the city. Every day after her classes, she would wander through the old districts, eager to uncover the secrets hidden behind the centuries-old walls and the veil of time. One evening, the mist was particularly thick. The sky was covered in heavy clouds, and a light drizzle began to fall, giving the entire city an even more mysterious appearance. Akiko decided to explore some little-known streets that she had heard about from the old locals but had never visited. These streets were known for their eerie legends and were burdened with history, which only fueled her curiosity. The narrow alleys, paved with ancient stones, were full of shadows and flickering light from the dim lanterns. The sound of the rain created the feeling that the whole world was wrapped in a watery haze, and the sound of Akiko's footsteps was almost muted and lost in this sonic background. Every noise, from the raindrops hitting the roofs to the creaking of old wooden doors, seemed amplified in this strange, almost supernatural environment. As she walked, Akiko noticed that the lanterns were growing dimmer, and the shadows were becoming more numerous. At one point, her attention was caught by a whisper. The whisper was strange, many-voiced, almost as if several voices were merging into one, creating an indistinct and eerie sensation. She stopped, listening, and although the whisper was barely audible, it sent shivers down her spine. Akiko tried to ignore the strange feeling and continued walking, but the whisper didn't disappear. On the contrary, it grew louder, reminding her of the presence of something unseen yet palpable. Soon, she noticed a figure hidden in the darkness. The figure moved unnaturally, its contours were blurred, and its movements were smooth and silent, as if it was gliding through the air. Akiko felt her pulse quicken, and every movement became more and more difficult. The rain intensified, and the sounds became even more resonant. The figure kept coming closer. In panic, she spotted an old stone arch ahead of her. Legends said that such arches served as gates between the worlds of the living and the dead, and this place was surrounded by numerous myths and stories about lost souls. Akiko felt her pulse quicken, and every movement became more and more difficult. The rain intensified, and the sounds became even more resonant. The figure kept coming closer. In panic, she spotted an old stone arch ahead of her. Legends said that such arches served as gates between the worlds of the living and the dead, and this place was surrounded by numerous myths and stories about lost souls. When Akiko returned home, she felt that the night had left her in a state of deep unease. Even in the safe surroundings of her home, every rustle and sound reminded her of the eerie event. Her dreams became restless, and her days were filled with the same mysterious whispers that had haunted her that night.
But even with this knowledge, Akiko couldn't shake the feeling that the shadow she had encountered was still watching her. She continued her research, but every step was cautious, every new discovery careful. The city of Kyoto, with all its history and secrets, had now become a place